In this video, we will see how to manage profit and loss statement in ERPLY books. When you go to income sheet, the profit and loss statement, then the by default solution shows you all the values, all the profit and loss accounts by types. You see here, this is this other income and primary income. This comes from chart of accounts from income statement type. So if an account is in a wrong place, the first place where to change that is from income statement type. The income statement types are predefined by us, meaning that if you need something else, something that is more custom, then you have to build your own profit and loss statement. And there are lots of ways to do this. So let's see all these options. But first, let's stay here for a second. I see here comparative period because in the settings I have enabled that I would like to see this. So if you would also like to do that, you just have to enable it. I can get the detailed, not detailed report. This shows only by income statement types. And I can also see all the accounts that even don't have any values if I tick this show all. Now the P&L by default gives you an option without the location or whatever dimension you need, but you can filter them from here. You can also set up the consolidated reports. Just write to support@erplybooks.com to for us to help you to do that. But by default, we show one organization and without any dimensions. Now, if you would like to see this report by dimensions, meaning that in the separate columns you would like to see the departments, then we can enable selecting a project group here, as I take the department. Then it gives me all the values that I have in the department. That you see I have 3 values. And this doesn't this takes only the values that are allocated into these dimensions, meaning that here I have 500,000 because I have allocated that. I have selected in sales invoice or somewhere else in the transactions that 500,000 are connected to Tallinn. But if there is something not divided into the departments, for example, you have a bank service charge and it takes too much time to allocate all the expenses into different departments. Then we have a solution here for contribution margin. This is not exactly to the definition of contribution margin, but it basically does the same thing. It takes all the values that are not allocated into departments. At the moment, it's a department, and allocates them with the type that I'm selecting here. I can divide it by equally. Then, as I have 3 departments, then you see the overall profit for these 3 will be divided equally. But you see that this one has the lowest lowest loss. This means this is because it has allocated profit, but not allocated the expenses. And here you see that here comes the not allocated revenue, here comes not allocated expenses, and here are the expenses and revenues that are not allocated divided equally. But I can also do this by revenue. This means that at the moment you see this Osakond 3 doesn't have any revenue, so it should also have 0 over here because there is nothing to be allocated by revenue. You can also do by quantity, and this means if you, for example, sell by bottles or sell by kilometers, then you can then it can take the quantities from the sales invoices. Okay, I also told that we can do the self-defined P&L. You see there is a typo here. By default, it's the default, but we can change the rules so that by default it shows parent accounts or user-designed report. This show by projects is a solution where what you can select if you don't have many dimensions. For example, you only have locations and you have, let's say, 5 of them and no other dimensions. Then show by projects will work for you and it will do the same thing. It will add them as columns here. But I have lots of project groups, so I cannot select it. It will give me an error. But let's see this now. Use parent accounts. I'll reopen the profit and loss statement and let's take the use parent accounts. Then it will take all the accounts where I have this hierarchy. You see 400 and 40,000. This comes directly from the chart of accounts. You see there is this 400 and 40,000 and the system assumes that this 400 is a mother of this 40,000. If you have it allocated like this, then the P&L will work automatically. But you see that here this 5600 is under the 513 because there is no mother for that 5600. So it's still like it works, but it's not perfect because I haven't done the setup correctly. So just remember to add the mothers correctly and it will work. And definitely use numbers, don't use any non-numeric values for the count numbers. Now we can also do user designed report. I don't have it set up this in this account, so I'll go to another account. For this you can search from the dashboard order of profit and loss statement. And here you can add all the values. Here is the name. You can leave the income statement type blank if you don't want to have a custom value over there. The index is where it should be in the report. If it should be in the beginning, then I usually add 1000. And the next item I add 2000 it's because if I need to add something between them at the end here, then I can do 1500. I still have enough index to work around. And on the right, if I scroll to the right, you can see I have here the account range. I can add account range over here. So you see here is 200 accounts. So if I set here 1000 and the next item I set as 1100, then the accounts will have index of 1001, 1002 until 1199. So this will never be added because there are more accounts than the index allows. So give some space over here. 1000 is enough. Now you can, if you want specific account, you can select it over here. But if you want the account range, you can do it over here. And the account range can be done with, you can see like this, with commas and with this sign. Now, here is a mother, meaning that the mother of this sales account in general is net turnover. So it can automatically show the total for that sales accounts in general under the net turnover. The mothers are very important. Don't forget to select them. Multiplier is necessary if you want to say that the expense accounts are negative. So meaning that this profit and loss statement is pretty plain, stupid, simple. You have to tell it everything that you want to have. You have to then you have to add this multiplier over here. If it's 0, then it doesn't multiply, but if it's not 0, then it multiplies. The project you can also select here, and formula also. If you want to see your profit and loss statement in in a more complex way and see some formulas over there, and so you would like to see, for example, EBIT before depreciation and amortization. You want to see earnings before taxes. Then all of these can be done with the formulas. But if you would like to have a separate rows for the different locations, not columns but rows, then you can do this by project. You just have to remember then to correctly add the formula to orchestrate the profit. But all this can be done with this order of profit and loss statement. But it's quite complicated to do this on your own, so we usually recommend to contact us via support@erplybooks.com too, if you have some complex needs over here. But let's get back to the to this report over here. We also have other options to take the profit and loss statement. You can take the 12 months report. This shows by accounts, nothing more. It's very like simple, meaning that in here, if I take the default, here we have the net income. I don't have the account for the enterprise income tax. That's why there are like 3 values over here that are basically the same. But if I would have it, then it would show me as a separate row over here. I also have the I don't have the financial expenses and income. That's why this is also empty. But in the profit and loss statement in 12 months report, it adds all the expense accounts together, meaning that it doesn't do any this kind of separation of earnings before interests and taxes, then interests, and then the taxes. It doesn't do this. It simply gives you revenue, expenses, and profit. You can also do the comparative report and compare, for example, 2025 March with 2024 March, and this also shows you the difference and the percentages. In all of the reports, you can double click and it will open you the general ledger. The same in profit loss 12 months. If I take here like that, then it will open general ledger for me. But one thing I didn't mention before that I will go through now is that you see that my profit and loss statement 12 months starts from July and ends in June. This is because I have said my annual year starts, and here I just select the date, and it can use then this value in ordinary profit and loss statement and also the 12 months report. This is all. Thank you for watching.